Ashton Genty and Colston Loveland were both on the board at number 20.
Yes.
Are you going running back or are you going tight end? What to you is the more important position to fill with a first-round pick, even though they have already signed Evan Ingram?
I would legitimately go with the tight end.
Wow, you just made it 2-1.
Oh, you're getting trumped right now?
I would say you would sprint to the podium to take Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
You just signed Evan Ingram. Colston Loveland can't help you win this year. Ashton Genty can absolutely help you win this season if those are my two options.
Well, certainly can help you. He can help you win this year. I mean, he's going to be, he's going to be a weapon, the best route runner. But my thought process on this is, one, longevity of running backs. That kid has had a ton of carries, and I understand he's 5'8", so he's really compactly built. He's a big, thick kid. Unbelievable movement skills. But when you go back through and you start watching all the combine stuff, you start watching these backs, there is a bunch of backs that are really, really good. And you start looking at, fifth rounders, and, Kyron Williams is one of the best backs in football. That dude was taken in the fifth round. There's I look at, I guess, the value of the position. And to me, Evan Ingram is kind of singular in what he does. He is not a dual threat player.
So he's not the Joker? Because we've been told by a lot of people he's the Joker.
Well, the Joker as far as catching balls and being all over the foot. Like he can go out of the backfield. He can do all those things. But what I'm talking about being a dual guy is he is not a guy that's going to line up at the end of the line of scrimmage as a Y and be involved heavily in the run game. It's not what his forte is, right? He can get in the way of people, but he's not moving the line of scrimmage. And so Colston is a guy, to me, that can do both things. And ultimately, when you talk to people that cover the draft and really know the tight end position, they'll tell you he's the best route runner as a tight end and one of the best route runners overall, even the receiver crew. And then ultimately he's big enough and he's got attitude enough to block people because he had to at Michigan under Jim Harbaugh and all those things. So I just think the value of that position, and you've got to be multiple in Sean's offense because he wants to run two tight end stuff. He wants to run, he wants to have a mixture of different personnel groupings. So that's kind of how I would view it. And a lot of it is simply because I think the running back position in this draft is incredibly deep.
Okay, but a couple of counterpoints. First of all, Kyron Williams, good example, but Audric Esme was also a fifth-round pick, and he couldn't get a jersey in a playoff game. I mean, they wanted Tyler Bidet, who hadn't done anything since week 4 against Tampa Bay. And then second, Genty, to me, I respect the depth, but Genty could be generational. You got Cecil Lammey on these airwaves saying he's a combination of Saquon Barkley and Emmitt Smith.
I've seen a lot of quarterbacks without their shirt on.
If you can sign me up for that, and he somehow slips to 20 when the Raiders may take him at 6,
right,
I think it'd be flat out irresponsible to not take him if he has a draft night tumble for whatever reason, especially because, again, you signed a tight end in free agency and you still have Adam Troutman on the roster. Not that I'm a huge Adam Troutman fan, but he can fill that second role, that blocking role that you're talking about that Loveland could do.
Right, but the problem with Adam Troutman and the problem with Evan Ingram is they are singular. So when Evan Ingram's in there, hey, they're going to split him out. He's running routes. He's not, he's not going to be involved in the run game. When Troutman's in there, you're like, hey, man, they're going to run the football. Like that's their run formation. So there's a lack. It's like a pitcher, that has a dominant fastball, but that's all he has. Well, you just sit on fastball, unless you have multiple pitches that you can be dominant with, you're not going to be very good. And ultimately, to me, versatility and guys that can do multiple things keep a defense guessing and make the defense have to make a decision. Like the decision, if Evan Ingram's in, you're getting sub package 100% of the time. They're just like, man, we're going to stop the pass. We will adjust to the run as it comes, but we're going to stop the pass. Now, if Colston's in, they're going to go, or Colston Loveland is in, they're going to go, all right, wait a minute now. They've got versatility. They can run. So now all of a sudden we're going to go, okay, are we going to match them heavy or are we going to match them light in sub package? And that changes. It just changes the dynamic of your offense because now you've got a defense that's on their heels, and then with all the check with me stuff or the kill it, can it packages that are out there today, you've got an opportunity to go, okay, that you're going to get small, we're going to run, we're going to stay big and beat you up. Oh, you're going to check into big. Okay, now we're going to run by you because we got a great route runner tight end. It just gives you some versatility. And I get what you're saying. Like, I wouldn't be mad if Ashton Genty was there, and they took him. I'd be stoked. I think it's
could be generational type player.
Right, yeah, but I mean, you look at the draft. You say, well, Cecil Lammey says he could be generational. Well, Cecil Lammey also thought that Paxton Lynch was going to be good.
Oh boy,
Wow.
Oh boy. You know what? I mean, just for old time's
Shut
sakes,
the hell up.
just for old time's sakes, just
All right.
the Paxton Lynch smear campaign has gone by the boards, but feels good to resuscitate it every once in a
It
while.
does, and maybe Paxton would have been great if he just got 4 more reps at training
wait a minute,
camp.
I got to do another one. Hold on, keep it going.
Oh, he's back. He's got a new heart, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a new heart.
He's got a new heart, and he's letting it run.
Yes.
He's stretching out. Let that thoroughbred go.
That's right.
Let that. Wow, I don't think we've ever done that.
Yeah.
We've done 2 different smear campaigns,
But no,
two different recipients in the span of seconds.
Not to bag on Cease. I love Cease. You guys know I love Cease. And a lot of us assumed that he was going to be good. You just never know. Now, I would be shocked if Ashton Genty comes into the league and it's not outstanding. Because the dude, like I said, he's got the speed to break it away. He's got the thickness. Even though he's only 5'8", man, he's thick, right? So he's got that power. And some of the stuff he does in traffic, he's one of the great traffic runners I've ever witnessed. Like his ability to move and jump cut and essentially, get hit and spin out. And the dude is phenomenal.
To your point, though, about the college workload, 750 carries in college.
Yeah.
750, including 374 this year. So just something to factor in. Add in another 23 catches. He had almost 400 touches from the line of scrimmage. But is it fair to say, and I know that the Broncos and Sean Payton went to great lengths to stay away from these comparisons, but isn't it obvious after a year in watching Bo Nix that Sean feels he's got his next Drew Brees to work with? Definitely Drew Brees type characteristics. Are you safe in predicting that whatever running back Sean targets, whether it's in the first round or second round, he believes he's getting another Alvin Kamara?
The Alvin Kamara is unique. Like that dude is unique. He's a unicorn. And so I would look at the running back position as more of, hey, we whatever the Joker, whatever he means by Joker, and I know I've sat and talked with him a bunch, but a guy that's multiple in the passing game. Alvin Kamara is interesting because Alvin Kamara is legit 220. Like Alvin's thick. Like he's shockingly big. When you sit down with him, you're like, oh damn, I didn't realize, because he's so fluid of movement. I didn't realize how big you are, right? But he catches the ball exceptionally well. He's good in blitz pickup and all those things. To me, the running back that you need to pick is the everyday starter. He's going to get the lion's share of the carries. You got to have that guy. So catching the ball out of the backfield, to me, for this running back that they're going to draft, whether it's first rounder or whether it's second, third round, I think the biggest priority is a guy that is really good at running the ball, moving the pile. What I like to call a +2 runner. You block it for 2 and he gets you 4. That's what the Broncos need more than anything else, and what they haven't had, because Javonte Williams, you block it for 2, he'll get you 1. He's going down. Same thing with McLaughlin, and I know that people and he's great, third down, catch the ball, whatever, but man, that's an arm tackle just waiting to happen. And I need a guy that ultimately, like I said, you block it for 4, he's going to get you 6 or 7. And then it puts you in a situation where the world is your oyster. You can call anything you want in second down, second down and 4 or second down and 5. Like there's such, I'm telling you, just being in the huddle, second down and 5 versus second down and 7.
Big difference.
Huge. Like just it's almost like sigh of relief, Oh my God, we can go do anything we want. And now all of a sudden, if we go, hey, we're gonna get them with a shot pass. Let's say it's 2nd down and 5. We just crossed the 50 and we want to take a shot, right? Well, 2nd down and 5, man, I don't mind like faking a run. Like I don't mind even in a drop back pass situation going up and faking, like really coming off the ball, because the defense has to honor it. 2nd down 7+, they don't honor it. So you're like, what if the dude hits me with a swim move when I'm doing a fake run block, and then my quarterback gets crushed, right? So you can't do it. The freedom that the freedom that it gives offensive players to be in 2nd down and 5 minus, it's unreal the difference it makes when you're standing in the huddle. The little things that people don't think about that are huge have a huge effect on the game.
Well, and just look at the game in Buffalo. They couldn't move the sticks, right? The time of possession was like 42-18. It was one of the worst, if not the worst, time of possession differentials in Denver Broncos history. So they do need a running back that on 2nd and 5 can give you the opportunity to move the sticks. I'm curious, too, Stink, on this notion that they had such a good free agency that for the first time in a long time, can the Broncos afford to go BPA, best player available, at 20? Because that hadn't been the case for this team in a while, because they've had so many needs they have to fill. But can they just rank their draft board? They go, okay, the best player left is a D tackle. Boom, take him at 20. Can they actually afford to go BPA again for the first time in forever?
Yeah, they can. And ultimately, they're good enough all over the place that they don't have to rush. And I think the cool thing is the positions that you look at and say, hey, man, running back, or hey, man, multiple tight end guy. Well, you kind of, quote unquote, solved in free agency your guy who can stretch the field and can be, a weapon in the passing game, right? With Ingram.
Sure.
So you've kind of fulfilled that thing. And the one position that you might say is a position that you have to target, the running back position, is so damn deep that you can get a guy that you have rated. And let me just say this. I know there are people that have Hampton rated higher than Genty. And so it is one of those things, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder and all that kind of stuff. But the two guys, I'm telling you, the two guys from Ohio State those dudes are trained killers at the running back position. Like
Jenkins and Henderson.
Yeah.
Great young man.
So, like, there is so much depth there that I do believe you can go best player available, regardless of position. And, and right now, if you're in the Broncos facility with George Payton and Sean Payton, and you're sitting in there, you're going through every possible scenario. And so if one of those guys fall, like, hey, for instance, let's say Genty does. Are we going to take him? Let's say, Colston Loveland does. Are we going to take him? Let's say the highest rated D tackle on the board falls to us at 20. Everybody has him going at 12 or at 9. Let's say, what would we do then? And so they're going through, what if that guy and the tight end fell to us? Like, they're going through all those scenarios.
So they're doing their own mock drafts is what you're telling me. Yeah.
And so they do tons of them. And then they will also look at, like, hey, man, if this quarterback or this guy is available, we're not interested in that. We've got what we need there, so we're moving off of that and we're getting more value from a different position. So they're going through all these scenarios. So regardless of what happens, they're going to kind of hone in and have their decision already made before they go to the podium.
You talk about Philadelphia and Howie Roseman, who is, he's clearly the best general manager in football right now and has been for a long, long time. And you point out that Philadelphia never gets tired with strengthening a strength.
Right.
They never hesitate to take something, a part of their football team that is already strong, and continue to strengthen it.
Yeah. I mean, they did it last year with, signing in free agency Becton, who was a bust with the Jets, moved him inside. And, it's just amazing, kind of, like, again, beauty in the eye of the beholder. Like, I'll tell you a story. There was a guy that was drafted at Texas as a first-round pick to Arizona. Was it Leonard Davis? Big offensive tackle, 6'8",
right. Yep.
like 6'8", 340, 360, whatever he was. And he was awful, just awful, right? And I'd been on TV at the time. I was on ESPN, and just basically said this kid can't play, blah blah blah. And so I'm at this Super Bowl event, this party, and here he comes stomping across the room. And I'm sitting at about 225. And, I mean, he looks angry, right? And I'm like, I do believe I'm going to get my ass kicked. Like, I do believe I'm getting my ass kicked right now. And, like, he said, hey, man, you've said a lot of critical things about me. I go, yes, I have. And he goes, what would you, like, what do I need to do? And so we start having these breakdowns in the middle of this party, the Super Bowl party that we're at. And I told Leonard, I said, listen, man, you are too big and you don't have, good enough feet to play tackle in this league. Not against Dwight Freeney's of the world and all those guys coming off the edge at 4.38. I go, but if you move inside, you could be a stalwart for a team. He was a free agent. I go, tell your agent, I'm no longer a tackle. I'm going to play guard for the rest of my career. Dallas Cowboys signed him. He goes to 4 straight Pro Bowls at guard.
Wow.
And so you have to understand, you have to have a vision for what a guy is. And then when you get him, if he doesn't fit that, then you've got to be able to kind of change. And that's the Becton story. Becton comes out and plays at a Pro Bowl level at guard. Now, part of that is Jeff Stoutland's the best O-line coach, one of the best O-line coaches in football. The guy's amazing. But to Mike's point, you create this and you strengthen your strength. The other thing about Howie Roseman will continue to go to the well of Georgia on defense, right? He'll say, Georgia, man, these players can play. They're coached well. They come in. They understand scheme. They understand, and they play with great effort. They know what they want, what they're looking for. They've got the eyes for what they really covet and believe in.
So what accomplishment are you most proud of? Changing around Leonard Davis's career, setting Chris Hemsworth on a workout path that led him to become Thor,
right? This is a great
or your speech during the first Super Bowl season that single-handedly won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which accomplishment are you most proud of?
Yeah. Well, Hemsworth is big. Hemsworth is doing a lot of things in the fitness community that I'm very proud of, which is great. Leonard, still they didn't win a championship, but
4 straight Pro Bowls based on your recommendation.
Based on my recommendation, probably the fact that got the franchise the first world championship.
That's big.
It's big.
That's big.
What about?
Hey, you're welcome, Denver.
Sitting next to Angelina Jolie on Conan. That clip resurfaced the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. By the way, she was the C guest.
Oh. You were above her.
I came in before Angelina Jolie. Yeah,
I'm kind of a big deal.
You went up to Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, she came in. She was just some scrawny little wannabe actress.
Uh-huh.
She's probably still looking for me. I would imagine. Where is that big hunk of meat? She was thinking. Where is that big hunk of meat?
Wow.
That was. I do look like a Oompa Loompa, right? I mean, in that blue suit I was in.
I'm watching the video now, Mike. You gotta
look at that face.
Yeah,
that is a fat face.
Yes,
Holy
it is.
Smokes! And those glasses.
I mean, with all due respect, for an offensive lineman to get invited to do Conan.
Well, it's because we won Super Bowl 32. It was the first Super Bowl in the Denver Bronco history.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
because
if the current Broncos won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't expect Ben Powers to get invited to do Jimmy Fallon.
Right. But you have to understand, Conan was probably the third show, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. So bottom line is, Elway turned him down and Terrell turned him down, and they had 3-4 people turn him down because they had better opportunities.
Right.
So by the time they got to me, I was like, hell yeah, I'll come on.
Yeah,
Come on, Colin.
Sure.
Colin. What's his name?
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien. Colin Cowherd. Conan O'Brien, sure, I'll come on. Yeah.
Finally, on the RamosLaw.com text line on this Is It Just Me Friday, is it just me, or do you never want to hear Mark say thick again? He's thick.
Who's the
the
running back?
You're talking about Ashton Genty being thick.
And Alvin Kamara got
and
thick,
Alvin
too.
Kamara,
It was a double thick.
A lot of thick thrown out there.
You don't like that thick?
I don't mind it.
I think it's better than Mike going, I'm wet or moist, or what do you what do you always say?
Moist.
Moist.
Please stop.
What's worse, me saying moist Or Mark saying thick.
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell we got Mark back. It's awesome. Mark here in studio with us after having heart surgery earlier this week. He's a warrior. You know, the guy would play a couple of days after having back surgery. You think he's not going to be back doing radio for you people just a couple of days after heart surgery? Come on now.
I'm hard, dog.
You know stick better than that. He's thick. We continue to roll on.